Welcome back to the channel. If you love following the latest moments from the British royal family, you're in the right place. Today, we're taking a closer look at one of the most talked about details from the 2026 Easter service, the notable absence of Lady Louise. While many senior members of the royal family gathered for the traditional Easter Sunday service, observant royal watchers quickly noticed that Lady Louise was not among them. Palace insiders explained that her mother, Duchess Sophie, had to miss the event after feeling under the weather, pulling out of the service at the last minute. Naturally, her absence also meant that the familiar mother-daughter appearance we often see at royal events didn't happen this year. But Lady Louise had another important reason for not attending. The 22-year-old royal is currently in the middle of the academic term at the University of St Andrews in Scotland, where she is completing her 4th year studying English. Like many students balancing demanding coursework and university commitments, stepping away for royal events during term time isn't always possible. In fact, Louise has spent much of the past year focusing quietly on her studies. Her last major public appearance came during the traditional Christmas Day walkabout in Norfolk, where she joined other members of the royal family in greeting crowds and spreading festive cheer. Even then, many royal followers noticed her growing confidence and poised presence. And that's exactly why so many royal fans are increasingly fascinated by Lady Louise. Despite keeping a relatively low public profile, she has steadily captured attention for her elegance, humility, and strong sense of duty, qualities many say echo the values of the late Queen. So who exactly is Lady Louise, and why are so many people beginning to call her the new young star of the British royal family? Stay with us as we explore her background, her quiet rise within the royal circle, and the reasons she may soon become one of the monarchy's most admired young figures. Lady Louise Windsor Mountbatten, born in 2003, is the eldest daughter of Prince Edward and Duchess Sophie of Edinburgh. She is the youngest granddaughter of Queen Elizabeth II and the granddaughter of Prince Philip. Although by royal lineage she holds the title HRH, Princess, the Edward-Sophie family decided to give her the lower title of Lady Louise so that both children would grow up understanding that they must be independent and self-reliant. Throughout her childhood, Louise rarely appeared in the media, only attending important events such as royal weddings or family ceremonies. However, at the age of 21, she is becoming one of the most attention-grabbing figures, jokingly called the secret weapon or dark horse of the modern royal family. This article will examine the biography, public image, and prospects of Lady Louise, as well as public and expert opinions on her future role. Lady Louise is the only daughter of Prince Edward and Sophie, Duchess of Edinburgh. She grew up at Bagshot Park, where the Edward family lived in their 120-room estate. Louise's younger brother, James, now Baron of Wessex, later inherited the title of Earl of Wessex when their father became Duke of Edinburgh in 2023. Louise attended Wycombe Abbey High School and achieved good results. After completing her A-level exams, she enrolled at St Andrews University in Scotland in 2022, the same university where Prince William studied. Lady Louise is in her final year studying English literature at St Andrews. This is a prestigious university in Scotland, also where many princesses and princes have studied, and Louise is described by her classmates as sociable and quiet. The Windsor family strives to give her the most normal university life possible. According to Sophie, she uses social media very little, mostly voluntarily, and her parents taught her to keep her eyes wide open, but still be prepared to face challenges. By royal convention, Louise holds the title Lady Louise Windsor. She was officially given the title Princess Louise at birth as the only daughter of the prince, but from a young age her parents chose not to use the title of Royal Highness, HRH, for both Louise and her younger brother. As Sophie once said, this decision was to help the two children understand that they will most likely have to work to earn a living. Therefore, in practice, she is usually only known by the title Lady, although on invitations and in official records, she is still listed in the line of succession to the throne, currently 17th after Prince Andrew. One of the most striking aspects of Lady Louise is her constant effort to maintain a simple, down-to-earth lifestyle. Reporters have repeatedly noted and praised her humble nature. For example, during a visit to her hometown, Louise was spotted sitting on the floor of a train when there were no empty seats to do her homework and sip tea. This action surprised many, but then earned their admiration for her simplicity. The 22-year-old princess remained virtually unnoticed on the crowded train journey from London to Bristol, and she displayed a non-complaining attitude, being extremely polite when interacting with those around her. Before attending university, Lady Louise also worked part-time like any other student. A witness who saw her working at a plant shop, earning a basic wage of £6.63 an hour, revealed that she was truly humble and sweet, very polite and attentive to customers. You would never guess that this was the Queen's granddaughter working at a cashier's counter. Another customer also expressed surprise that it's not every day you buy flowers and the seller is a princess. This down-to-earth moment of Louise shows that she grew up under a diligent and disciplined education, not living a life of leisure and comfort as some rumors suggest. In addition, Lady Louise has been exposed to many special extracurricular activities of the royal elite. Louise joined the Army Reserve University Officer Training Corps at St. Andrews. She holds the rank of Officer Cadet and regularly participates in military exercises. The press has described her appearance in camouflage uniform with a very professional and serious demeanor. Louise loved every minute of her time as a trainee officer and could very well turn it into a future career. Military training shows that Louise inherited some of her sense of responsibility and discipline from her family. From a young age, Louise was mentored by her grandfather, Prince Philip, in the sport of horse-drawn carriage. After Prince Philip's death in 2021, Louise inherited his 2 horses and carriage. She became so proficient in the sport that she was almost as good as him, according to expert Jenny Bond. In May 2024, Louise competed in the national competition in Windsor and was praised as absolutely beautiful and truly talented. Social media even had admiring comments like, "Hopefully they'll make her an active prince so we can see more." Her mother, Sophie, also praised her daughter. "I'm always behind her. Know she's a natural talent for this sport. You're so good, it's wonderful." Thanks to this talent, Louise often receives media attention at royal events related to horses, such as the Royal Horse Show in Windsor. Although not an active royal, Louise occasionally participates in important occasions. In 2021, when Queen Elizabeth II passed away, she returned to Scotland to support her family and attend her mother's funeral. Her calm and dignified demeanor during those days impressed many. Louise always exuded grace and radiance and won the public's affection through her humility and sense of duty, a prime example being her role during the memorial days for Queen Elizabeth II. She also accompanied her parents to Easter, Christmas, and the royal wedding. At the coronation of King Charles III in May 2023, Louise appeared elegant in a satin dress and unique hat, showcasing the refined fashion sense inherited from her royal lineage. Lady Louise's combination of a simple, frugal demeanor and her royal connections has made her a subject of public interest. In the context of a British monarchy plagued by scandals and declining health, the press and public often refer to Louise as a secret weapon or a potential bright spot among the royal youth. On social media, many users praise Lady Louise for her friendly and modest image. Some affectionately call her a beauty queen and hero among the ostentatious socialites, hoping she will follow in the footsteps of the royal family to spread values and help the royal family. Even abroad, such as in the US, there are accounts praising her as an icon of strong yet restrained femininity, while ironically noting that other royal figures, such as some close associates who have also relinquished their roles, complain or cause trouble. Despite the mixed reviews, the common thread is admiration for Louise's calm demeanor and democratic lifestyle. Even staff members who have interacted with her describe her as servant-like, further reinforcing the belief that this princess will be an excellent representative of the younger generation of the royal family in the future, as editor Sean Smith rightly observed. Many commentators and authors of books about the royal family believe Louise has good qualities, but they also warn about the financial realities and her role within the royal family. Dr. Sean Smith told Vignettes that Edward and Sophie are very careful in preparing their children for life outside of the royal family. I believe there will be no pressure on Louise and James. He emphasized that the family wants their children to be free to pursue their own careers. Smith particularly praised Louise. She is the only young woman of this age in the royal family, and I believe she will succeed in whatever she decides to do. Conversely, some other experts see the potential for Louise to play a supporting role for the family when the monarchy is short of personnel. Richard Eden suggested that when Prince William ascends the throne, he could follow the example of the Queen, asking his grandchildren, including Louise and James, to share royal duties. Observer Christopher Wilson also called Louise a dark horse for the new face of the House of Windsor, emphasizing that she wins over everyone she meets and could become both an attraction and a boost for the royal team. Currently, under the reign of King Charles III, the British royal family is moving towards a slimmed-down monarchy. Besides the king, very few members under 70 years old participate in royal duties, including only Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Louise's parents, the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. This has led to public concern that the number of royals participating in public service is running out, and people are placing their hopes on younger generations, like Louise. In this context, some argue that if the royal family wants to maintain its operational scale, it must soon call upon more individuals. However, the cost of a royal family member is considerable. Expert Jenny Bond warns that the public absolutely does not want to contribute more to the royal budget. Bringing more people into the royal family means more costs in personnel and security. Therefore, it seems that the House of Windsor is still leaning towards allowing Louise to live a normal life and choose her own career path, rather than providing full patronage. Sophie herself has repeatedly stated that her family is very normal, allowing her children to live as normal a life as possible. There have been reports that after graduating from university, Louise intends to enlist in the regular army, Blues and Royals, and then work as Royals part-time. But there are also other reports that she wants to take on a regular job first. At this point, according to reliable experts, Louise is not among the working royals like William and Catherine or the Duke of Edinburgh, although it is hoped she will support the family when needed. If we compare Louise to her peers in the royal family, we can see some similarities and differences. She is the same age as Charlotte, 10 years old, and Louis, 7 years old, the children of William and Catherine, but Louise is older, and the difference is that she wasn't pre-trained for the throne. Charlotte and Louis are being formally prepared to participate in full-time royal duties, while Louise was raised to have a more ordinary life. Therefore, despite being royal, she shares a life closer to that of an ordinary young person. Compared to her cousins like Zara Tyndall, 40 years old, or the young ladies Beatrice and Eugenie, Louise is younger and hasn't yet fully established her position. However, Zara, the Queen's niece, is a clear example of balancing her royal role, being a member of the royal family, participating in fewer events, with her own career, a professional equestrian. Many commentators have noted that Louise follows a similar path to Zara, actively pursuing her passion for horseback riding and sports while also living independently. Jenny Bond speculated that Louise will definitely choose a similar path to Zara. In particular, Louise is seen as a counterpoint to the missing Sussexes, Harry and Meghan, in the minds of some in the public. While Harry and Meghan have retired from royal duties and now live in the U.S., Louise's image of dedication and selflessness is more endearing to many. Although online information about her family or private life is difficult to verify, for example, rumors about her boyfriend or going out with Jeffrey Epstein, the public basically sees Louise as a royal role model, down-to-earth, polite, and discreet. The media also relentlessly pursues news about Louise. Many recent articles and reports have described her as a phenomenon expected to shine. Woman and Home once titled their article, "Princess Louise will become an unexpected highlight in William's royal entourage," noting that she always captivates everyone she meets. Numerous news outlets have recreated the story of her college daughter in military uniform and returning to civilian life whenever she appears. This recognition has somewhat formalized the title of potential successor that the public has bestowed upon her, although the House of Windsor itself has not yet made a decision. Lady Louise Windsor is currently considered one of the most promising young faces of the British royal family today. She is associated with an image of a down-to-earth, traditional, responsible, yet unassuming person, resembling the respected princess that many admire. The public and the press praise her as someone who is both feminine and strong, dubbed the new royal model, in contrast to the controversy surrounding some other members. With her exceptional skills, horsemanship, military, and nurturing personality, many believe she could support the royal family in the future if invited. However, according to experts, Louise is almost certainly being prepared to not have to take on any official royal duties anytime soon. Her parents planned to raise her like an ordinary person, someone who could pursue her own career first and only return to the royal family if necessary, for example, to handle a few ceremonies or represent charities. In the current context of a lean royal family, while they always need more young people, they also have to consider the cost and public opinion. Therefore, it's almost certain Louise will stand on her own 2 feet after graduation, before, if at all, taking on any minor royal duties. In 2026, while still studying at university and preparing for her future career, Louise will be a role model of a young royal beloved by the public, both admirable for her responsibility and admired for her simplicity. The day she graduates or officially announces her career path is still a long way off, but with her excellent academic record and thirst for knowledge, most expect that whichever path she chooses, working in the military or in the civilian sector, Lady Louise will be brilliantly successful. As writer Sean Smith said, she is sure to succeed in whatever she does. Whether a star in the royal family or just an ordinary, well-behaved girl, Lady Louise Windsor has established her position in the eyes of connoisseurs, and perhaps she is the next brightest star the royal family has in its hands, in the best way everyone can imagine.